Letitia is
Welcome everybody to Sunday, August 3rd. This is Titan Circle Forex Trading Study Group. My name is Dan Hansen, and we're here to again look at the markets, look at chart technical analysis. This is strictly an educational platform, and it's open to the community. And we are going to fire right up and start with a little bit of Q&A and a topic that I'm interested in. If you can see my screen. We're looking at three big candlesticks. And if you notice, I'm also on the 1 year time frame. So with that being said, I know, Daniela, you have a question, and let's fire it up and open up with your question, see if we can answer it.
Thank you. Just wanted to ask again about what was said before.
That's
Uh,
pretty much what I was talking about. This three candlestick impulses,
right.
how the market has a tendency to, after it hits three large candlesticks, likes to make a retracement. This is Miss Letitia's, what she's noticed and brought to the table. I figure it's an important pattern to pay attention to. And the reason why I decided to go all the way back and look at the 1 year time frame is look at this huge, we had three big impulses. And just imagine if this was on a smaller time frame, what would we be looking at? We'd take our fib, we measure from low to high. Then let me do my regular fib. Okay, cool. So now that we've kind of hit an all-time high, which is the zero, we're going to be looking for some kind of retracement to at least the 236. So now, Letitia, go ahead and tell us about what you noticed and where you heard about the three candlesticks.
I mean, that was pretty much it. I mean, it's a while ago now.
Mhm.
I saw it on a video. I can't even tell you where. But the guy said that if you notice three or four candlesticks that are pretty strong, so you don't have a little tiny one in between, they're pretty strong, then that usually signals that they're about to make a pause, which then you might see a small one and then it'll reverse or do a pullback or something like that.
Mhm.
So I saw it at the time that I mentioned it to G Money and he just hung on to it. So what can I say?
No, and let's look at it though. If you really, really think about it, it's a very compelling argument for trend analysis. Because what do we look for in a market? We look for an impulse, a correction, and an impulse.
Hmm.
Now we got this big impulse up here. Where's it going to go? We're
Hmm.
going to have to go at some point. We tested 236,
Right.
3100. But if we go all the way back down and test the 50, which is our 1, 2, 3 strategy, we're talking about getting back in the 2000 price range before it comes up and goes to the extensions. So, and this is just on a yearly scale. So if 2025 closes, let's just picture this in our heads. If 2025 doesn't close any higher than the current price up here, our all-time high of 35.19, will 2026 be the retracement? Or my thought is 4,000 is the range, the price I'm looking for, 39.85, somewhere in that zone, in the 4,000 area, because I I just believe that we have this nice impulse correction, impulse, another correction, and we're going to either see the retracement this year, and if we don't see it this year, hopefully it'll at least come into this zone, or at least the negative 0.18, and come back and test these levels down below, and then take us back up to my ultimate goal of 4,500. I'm looking literally for 45. I believe price of gold will get up to at least $4,500 at some point. When, I don't know. But if we just take a look at an impulse correction impulse, and I'm going to toss on another fib just to take a look. It's called the trend-based Fibonacci. And you just measure an impulse, click it up top, then bring it down to the bottom for the retracement. And if you look at these prices, we already, let's see, we already hit the 1.618. So if you look just at this plain old fib, we not only exceeded, and we got the retracement down to here, the 1000. We turned around. Here's that rally base rally, and this was what got us into the 3000 range, right at this here, and shot up and it kept bringing us up. Yeah, that just kept drawing price up. However, we've been on such an impulse that we can definitely say that our first, like if we were here back in time and fib from low to high, just on this first impulse, we totally made the extensions and then some. Now this Fibonacci, the first Fibonacci just from this impulse has expired. So now we can take it up to the next impulse and do rinse and repeat. There's our low. There's our next impulse. So now we can look at prices going all the way up to the extensions of there's that 43, 44, 37, and then you got the 5,016. Look at that. $5,000 for gold. Is it possible that gold can get that high? Absolutely. Especially with the economy, the way things are going, the dollar isn't isn't what it used to be. The gold reserves are, I don't even know where they are at this moment. I have to look it up. But what is actually physically, um, what do you want to call it? What is actually physically the dollar based on? And right now they're printing out paper money faster than we have anything to back it up. So that's why we're in this area of inflation, price inflation, because the value of the dollar isn't as strong as it was. There's really nothing physically backing the US dollar anymore, theoretically. Whether it's true or not, I have to research a little bit, but I know we're in a period of inflation when um, there's more access of paper money printed based on what we had so in the past. So we've exceeded what was in our gold reserves. So there's what is back in the US dollar. Pretty much promises, if you think about it, promises by our politician that the economy will get better. I don't mean to say it that way. I'm not political, but it's true. You know, government does control which way and the strength of our dollar. And the Federal Reserve, the guys who print the money, are ones that will determine how much value is placed on it and what's going to back the dollar. So that's one of the importance of these candlesticks that we're talking about. And if you look at this closely, you've got this nice impulse, and if you got a rally-based rally, then we turn around, we get this nice break of structure candle, so let's continue to push up. At some point, price has got to really pull back. And that's why I think we're going to come back and retest this level of 29.21. Hopefully, if it keeps going higher than that, if we exceed in 2026 to keep going up for next year, it'll all depend. And then, so what's going to happen at some point, it will have to come back and retest these zones. Already, we look just at the month of, or the year of 2025. Just taking the candlestick 2025, we're just going to look at it. We're going to mark it up, low to high. We'll call it 2025 low. And whoops. Come on, buddy. There we go. And not only the 2025 high, it's also all-time high. Time so far. So this is the area that we're looking at. So if we break it down and go into I was looking at, break it down into what was it going down in 6 months. So we kind of got that retracement on this one candlestick, but not a huge retracement. We can again draw a little fib here. Come on, buddy. Help me out here. There you go. There's the fib just for this monthly impulse, one candlestick. That's why, again, we're at an interesting time of this year. This is just the first half of from January to June 1st. Yep. And then this is starting July 1st into whatever today's date is. So I've been finding it fascinating just looking at how, here we go. Again, we got that big impulse and we still haven't really gotten out. It came back and retested the 236 right about, and this candlestick right here. And that was in July. Yeah, July. So this one's candlestick pretty much. So now here we are the month. Here's July, August, July, June, so forth and so on. So these first 6 candlesticks was first half of the year. That's why, we can look at that impulse. The three big pushes that Letitia talked about earlier. Is this the impulse that's going to push price back? We already came back and tested it at 382. Are we totally done? Are we done with the 382? Because there we is. So that's the low of what is that? May 2025. Mm. So there we go. And even if you look at this one candlestick, just the May alone. We're not even talking about the April, just talking about the May. There's the high of the May. That candlestick hasn't even been rectified. However, we can come back and look at, there's the April one. This is the one that G Money's looking at. This definitely is a candlestick that I'm going to look at for the control, because this is the one that's really keeping, I guess you could say, price up and continue pushing up. And now we can say, and if you check it out, we can just bring this candlestick up here, bring it here, bring it over there. So we came back and tested the 618 for sure. Came back and retested at least the 382, almost the 50. And now we're testing the 236 again. Any questions so far? I'm going to actually change the color of these, because I'm going to use this as the control. candlestick. So I'm going to put this blue and make this. Actually, no, I'm going to change that. But we're going to use these two candles. This huge candlestick right here is going to be our all-time high, and our this candlestick is going to be our control candlestick, which is cool. So we got that impulse, correction, and impulse. Hold on 1 second. I'm going to mute my thing.
I do have a question before you change the page. Those, oh, I'm sorry, he's on the phone.
I apologize. I had to give directions on how to get to our Zoom call.
It's all right. Dan, I did
Well,
have a quick question.
I go ahead,
So
Letitia.
what does that mean with the dojis that are for May and June? Does it mean that the market just balanced out itself, or, I know we made something in those months, but I'm looking at two dojis and no
Actually,
can
three dojis. You
three
got
dojis,
one,
yeah.
two, three. Doji candles are indecision candlesticks. So that means the market went up and high and it just got stuck.
So in those 3 months, it just got stuck. It didn't really make any significant changes in the money, in the
However,
price.
the beautiful thing is we have an inverted candlestick here, which usually is an indication of a change of direction.
Right.
And we got this nice bullish candlestick here. The question for us now is going to be, is it going to continue to rise and go above the 236 to test these wicks up here? And we can even change this one to this candlestick, and we'll look at the month of June, because that was a higher high than that one. So we're going to use the May, or June rather. And what that's telling us is it could do two things. This could just be a liquidity grab now, and we might get up to the zero. And it could just say, I don't think so. So these three candlesticks are literally, if you look at those three candlesticks, are pretty much close in height. So that means there's
Right.
a strong area of support there.
Okay.
Something is holding price right in this candlestick at this price level at the 34, 35 zone.
So that would be the time you look forward, you look left to see what happened, so that they all
Well,
kind of reach the same line in those 3 months.
we're going to go down and we're going to check time frames now. We're going to go down the time frames. So now we're going to take a look. Now that we've seen the monthly view, now we can swing down to see, oh, what happened in the weekly view and see how it tested it. So
Mhm.
it's actually this candlestick that created a higher high and it barely closed above. I said it barely closed above.
Mhm.
Came back, gave us two bearish candlesticks, two pretty good size, not four, So we still haven't got that big push up that we were looking for. Here we got like the four candlesticks. They may
Mm-hmm.
not look huge, but there are four consistent
Mm-hmm.
bullish candlesticks, followed by this could be considered a break of straw, not a break of straw, a BEC, a brother engulfing candlestick, or it could be called a
Rally-based
base
rally.
rally.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So
Okay.
on this would be if we decided to use this rally-based rally as our entry, but we already got into it a bit, so we have no gaps in price here, no fair value gaps to speak of anymore, because this candlestick definitely closed out this fair value gap. And we have just been sideways trading for the longest time.
Mm-hmm.
And our queen of channels is on the call, Miss Daniela. She's the queen of channels. And we have two ways of looking at this. We have a channel that's literally going from here to here and down to, say, here. That's our zone.
Mm-hmm.
So right now we're created a channel that we can say, oh, okay, price could go from point A to point B. It's got a little increase, but it still hasn't broken this higher high here. This high of this candlestick has not been broken. So there's some liquidity. There's liquidity definitely up here to be had. There's definitely money waiting. Sellers are just chomping at the bit to get in there because they know once they can get that price that high again, they're going to come in and bring the price back down. So the question is, will this be the month of August? Will it be we had a nice, just not even 3 days into, this is the close of last week. And already we had a nice pullback and try to capture this candlestick. That's this open candlestick. So that's why they say there could be that's why it's a change of direction candlestick. Because candlesticks, wicks like to be closed at some point. Because there's all kinds of liquidity up there. So we got definitely a liquidity zone here. So right now price is in the liquidity zone between here and this June high. And for it to go higher, it has to definitely break and close above that. So, oh, welcome, Nelson. Welcome, welcome. All right. So, any questions so far? Am I going too fast? And like I said, what started this whole conversation was three candlesticks. One, two, three. Just three candlesticks, 3 months worth of candlesticks. And even the monthly got one, two, three, four. So we got the nice big bullish candlesticks. We could even count this low to this high. And then look what it does. Even if you took the swing low to the all-time high, we touched the 382. And we don't have any gaps in price except for way down here. We have one gap, fair value gap on the monthly. Extend it. Let's see. Bend right. And I'm going to make this little border darker. Oh, okay, cool. So if it was to retrace, this would be an area where there's a lot of money that could be made down at 786. So are we truly done with this impulse? Or are we going to have to come back and retest it?
Turn for my feet home. Where the other stuff. Turn the fan on. Once I have fan connection.
So there we go. Oh, that works. Yeah, give me a second here. I gotta. So, any questions? You feel free to unmute yourself, ask a question. I'm going to uh, let's see. Yeah, I'm definitely going to field any questions you have so far. Oh, okay. With that, so now that we know we've got some kind of a trend, whether we got this impulse, which is a pretty good impulse, had a correction, which is at 382, and right now we're stuck between the 236 and the 0. I said there's several ways we can look at this Fibonacci. We're going to take this low to that high, or we're just going to take this impulse from here to here. That's the question of the day. What is going to be our Fibonacci level? But we like it. We don't want to go too far back to the left. And as G-Money pointed out, it's true. We really don't want to go too far back,
Right.
but we want to go back far enough to say, hey, you know what? There's some areas of interest. So I'm going to even mark off this zone here, this weekly ETM zone, man zone. And I think it's weekly. I'm going to call that a rally. Should I call it a rally based rally or BC? Somebody help me flip a coin here. Right now I'm thinking of a rally based rally.
I agree.
Okay. Weekly rally based rally. Okay, cool. I like it. So now we like that we're still in this crazy channel. Let's go see what the daily has to offer. And here we go on the daily impulse. The April low, the all-time high. So right now, and we're not looking that far left. This is the impulse. This is the impulse that I was talking about on our call was it last week? Can't remember when. Maybe this morning I brought it up. This impulse was important because we still haven't quite closed it. So I'm taking the impulse. And we've got resistance at the June high. So all we need now to break through that June high is a rally-based rally or a drop rally-based rally, or this break of structure. This could be considered a very ugly morning star. Could be a very ugly morning star. It may not be. It just might be the correction because we got good strong candlesticks going bearish. This could just be retracement to bring it down lower and test the low of this channel. Does it make sense so far? Cool. Now we have that in store. Here's another question, and we'll show you why we had price level stuck here. And it's this flip zone right here. I love flip zones because they're important. Right here, we got a nice flip zone. This is on the daily flip zone. So already we're starting to see what's keeping price up. We can see that it's tested the front edge of that flip zone, hasn't passed through it, and it's stuck at this high up here. And we have no previous candlesticks to say, oh, what's keeping it there, except for this high, this wick, or just these two candlesticks right here. So either way, one of those candlesticks is a high, and I kind of like using this impulse as the, I'm going to change it because this is more significant to me. The open of, what's that? The open of June 16 open. Previous daily, I think it's previous weekly too. Yep. June 2025. June 16. June 16th weekly candle. Five. Previous weekly open. As G-Money has always pointed out, price likes to go back. It's already tested it once, the previous weekly open. And even I was contesting these two candlesticks here. We have a flip zone here too, if you want to go get technical about it. But it's too big to deal with. This BEC right here, that can be considered the flip zone I look at, but because price ended here, the daily flip zone makes much more sense at the moment. So now we're looking for price to at least come back and retest up to at least here. Probably come back here, retest before it comes back up to here and retest that. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Any questions? So that's just a long-term projection. Whether I'm right or wrong is, again, we got a nice channel here that's keeping price pretty much at bay. It could stay this way to the end of the year. We don't know. It's because we're coming to the end of, if you're into numerology, this is the year of number 9. 9 is the year of closure, conclusions, ending of the end of things, ending of cycles. So if this is a cycle, this is one impulse is a cycle, it will probably end towards the end of the year and either pick a direction or just stay stuck until 2026 opens. And right now, for as of yesterday, submarines have been deployed to the Middle East again. So our military, we have boots on the ground. That always affects the market. Always affects the market. That's why we had this. We didn't know it at the time, but Friday's close was a very bullish, a huge bullish day. It took out this BEC or even this drop-based drop, took it out, but this impulse down still isn't complete. So we could just range this whole time. It could hit the 236 and turn right around. There's the scenario number 2. So if we go the other direction, turn around at the 236, come back, we test here, maybe come back, we test here, and then come back down here. We could, and you come back to test this one. So if it decides to go bearish, we could probably look for prices to continue going down. As we go down to now our 4-hour analysis, here we are, the 4-hour. We're still trapped in this zone. See if I can get a good aim. So let's look at just this one zone. Here, just a 4-hour range from basically low to high. Look at that. You can't get any prettier than that. Just this 4-hour impulse down. This is just a 4-hour. There's a 4-hour trend down. And if we look at price and compare it to where the big Fibonacci here, we got, we're going to test the 236, which is also the 618 on the 4-hour Fibonacci. I can test and say, okay, we can keep going down. And then if it decides to go, all we need is a break close above the impulse is 236 to continue going high to get higher highs. However, structure indicates that we got a low here, a higher low, and now we just need a higher high. But how long? However, the sad fact is, if you go back to here, we got a high, and still haven't hit a higher high. So we got a low, so are we going to go for a lower low to take out this low? So right now on the 4-hour, we're looking bearish. Let's see, question. Gold just moved more than 8K pips since January. Button, then. Hey, Dave, unmute yourself and can you clarify what you're talking about? Dave, you have a gold just moved more than 8K pips. I get that since January. So let's go back to the monthly. January was way back. Oh, way back here. Yep, January. So that's this big impulse. That's what I was talking about. The 4 big candlestick impulses. And that's what this whole discussion is all about, is this move. And why have we really exceeded? No. I know how we can answer that question. Good point, Dave. Now let's see. Let me find that one. What's that one indicator that he uses with the daily averages? Was it this pit belly calculator? Let me see if that's right. Inputs. No, that's not it. All right. What's the other one that he uses? I don't need that one. I don't need this one. If anybody can recall the average true range, no, that's not it. Percentile. Anybody remembers what is it the higher time frame candlesticks? Huh. I wish I could remember. I have too many indicators. I can't remember which one it was. I want to say
Which one in specific are you looking for?
I'm looking for the indicator that tells us the average the average daily highs and lows. Is it this
Oh,
one? Um, let's see. Um, on the range. I can't remember which one has the daily average. Too many indicators. So I want to get the average price. Price. Oh, heck. Weighted. Oh, is it daily? Sessions. Thank you. Now I remember it's the sessions indicator. There we go. Okay, sessions. Show line. Show. Let's see where it is. Sessions. I think it's the sessions. I really can't remember.
Mm.
Isn't it
No,
section that want be that chart up top?
That's what I'm looking for. I can't remember what it's called. Is it sessions or is it something else? Can't
I
remember.
honestly don't know about that. Maybe how about the ADR, the average range, something like that.
The average shoe range? That's down below. Um, yeah, I thought of that too. It'll probably jump out at me and
Mhm.
scream.
The one for the volume, yeah.
I hear, right? Uh,
Let's see.
oh, market sessions. That's the one. There we go. Now we're cooking. All right, it's market sessions.
Okay. Mhm.
All right, cool. All right, so now we can go on. So now we got our market sessions. So we want the, let's see if we can, so the daily, the problem is I have to figure out the monthly. So basically, oh, 615. Let's see. Oh, 715 to um what is it, 1715. I think that's it. Then we got the New York session is from um is it 815? I have to 815, I think. 0800
Mm.
to 1600. That's my time. So I'm in Chicago time. Um then we got the Tokyo Asian then is from um I think it's 16. Yeah, and not really I can't remember the sessions off the top of my head. I go to 12, 0, 0, 0. And London from 0 to 100, 0 to 100, 100 to, let's say, 0, 600. All right. So if let's see if I can make this bigger. Let's see if I can make that bigger. GMT -5 is my time.
I think you put an M in that for London instead of London. I think you have London.
I'm sure I do.
Mhm.
I'm positive I do. Thank you so much. Ancient. So I hope I got the right date, the daily session. Session one should be the daily. I don't see the daily showing up over here. Let's see if I can get my font size bigger. I can't read my fonts. S310. So that's just way too small. Let's see. How can I make my fonts bigger? Oh my goodness. Let's see, information. There we go. That's better. Now we can read it. So my daily is not showing up at the top. And I wonder why. So if my New York's so 07, 06, I go 0700 is oh, and then we got London session starts at 8:15 to I'm gonna say 12:15, 14:15, 14:15. Well, it doesn't still give me my total dailies. I don't know why it's not giving me what I want. I don't know why it doesn't give me what I want. It should give me 4 sessions here. I reset my setting. And then I go back and hit large. Large. It's better. And then if I add the session, Sydney session, oh, it's not adding my Sydney session. Ah, that's why. It's kind of broken, so I'll have to figure out why it's fixed. Anyway, so even if we took like the daily average of that's not even right, daily London, so that's from call it the daily. Daily, and that should be 0700 to 07 to how do I change that? So it's 4 o'clock Chicago time, which is 1600 our time. 100 our time. We're gonna make it 16:15. I get why. Now I know why he wants 16:15 on the daily, 15 minutes over. So the New York should go from 1600. I think we need a whole class on this. And that starts at I'm gonna go 08 there 08:15. That's what time we really look at price. Okay, and then we've got the Tokyo or Asian. And that's from starts at 6 o'clock our time, which is 1800 hours. And it goes to I want to say 2000, 100 hours. And then London session. Don't ask me why it's not wanting to do the London session, but it's usually a 0 200. And I'm going to go to 0600, 06. Oh, there we go. There we go. Now they all work. Still the numbers don't look right. I'm not sure why. I wonder if it's because the market's closed right now. Nothing's moving, price ain't moving, so we probably won't find out for about another couple hours. So might have to be patient on that. And wait. But yeah, so that's what I'm looking for. If we can open up just basically on the 1 hour, if we can open like a couple things that there's the daily ranges and stuff. I'm just gonna hide my sessions right now. Let's see, time frame. I want to see them. Let's see. I'll look at my settings later. But anyway, we'll play with this session. Right now, I'm going to turn it off. So here we have just looking at the last 1 hour session. And this is where G Money talks about not looking too far left. However, we're going to have to look a little to the left. So we're going to look for the 618 price, what's keeping price at bay here at this level. And of course, you can see a lot of support and resistance. Let's see if we got anything on the 2 hour. Still support and resistance. We've got this inverted candlestick right here. We got this change of position. And I'm going to call it that. This is the zone that is in question right now. That's a 2 hour supply BEC. Okay. Supply zone. So I always put mine in red. And 2 hour BEC. Make sure I get the right candle. Yeah, pretty close. The BEC. Yeah, we're good. I like it. It's usually just this candlestick right here. But I'm going to also cover this here. This whole, but just this whole candlestick right there, because I believe that is going to be the price to get through. And if it fails, we're going to look for the sell to come back. To bring this price down. To retest lows. To come back and hit the extensions down here. And it's also the 50 right on this big impulse that I had set up, which is nice. Impulse for the weekly impulse. If it breaks above the 618 and continues going higher, I'm looking for the same type of move in the other direction, taking us back to the highs and retesting that. 35. Boom. I will call it 3,500. I'm going to just call it Taurus 3,500. There we go. Yeah, so you had 8,000 pips. On a monthly range, let's see if I would love to find out what the monthly average gold price is. So if we go to the monthly candlesticks, I know it'd be kind of hard to figure it out because we have all this different move, but just this impulse up from here to here, just this one candlestick is how many pips? Just talking one candlestick. We're not even talking about 1 year or anything higher than that. We're just talking one crazy little candlestick. And right now we're at, wow, with 55, $543. Is that right? Yeah. So we're talking about, well, whatever, 5,328 pips, something like that. Oh, that's a lot of money on the table. That's just one candlestick. So to say, and so if we go this a 1 month, yeah, so how can you even get an average monthly value? There's a way we'd have to calculate it by hand, but maybe that if anybody feels like calculating the last couple months since the January, counting each candlestick pip value, please feel free to share. So for today's forecast, so to close out, we're coming down to the end of our hour. I'm looking for a test of this 2 hour BEC, come back retest, and if it fails, then I'm looking for price They either go through and go above. So this is the area of what we're looking for. We're looking for this test. Let's see, we go up to here to this high of June. We test come back to here. And where's this? And then come to here. So how can I share that where we can also, oh, we don't need this down here. Okay, so that's why. Just wondering why my charts look a little small. Any questions?
Two.
So this is a 4-hour fib. Or just this one impulse, yeah. Boom. And let's see if we put on the Ichimoku cloud. Look at that. That's the fib of the 1-hour box. I like it. All right, there we go. Now we have it. Thank you, ladies and germs.
Let's
Ah,
see. Okay, 1, 5.
our fib there. And we don't, it's the 1-hour fib. No, that's not the one I want. I want the weekly fib. I'm really gonna have to make some new fibs, ladies and gentlemen. Gonna have to create a different looking fib. So I like this. This is our 1-hour fib. Gonna slide it over here. Next to my weekly. And we're gonna put this as a bearish fib. So my background is gonna be red. It's going to be my 236. I'll make the test zone, so I'll make it a different color. So there's our ranges. That's what I'm looking for. So on the overall Fibonacci for the weekly fib or the impulse fib, come on, buddy. We're looking for definitely that. I'm going to get rid of some of this stuff here. We don't need the prices. And we can put the values in the center. Okay, so we put our fibs there. Our fib prices in the center, so we can kind of see that a little easier. All right, there we go. See, if we go back and test this 50, the midpoint, that's what I'm looking at. That's interesting. If we want to break this flip zone down, we can break it down probably right in here somewhere.
Mm.
Let's see if I can break this flip zone down. I can. Duh. We got a fair value gap right in here. Oh, it's pretty high, steep one. I don't even like it.
I think we did take it.
What's that?
Yeah,
You
we
like
did. Yeah, price came back there. We already
we already
flipped it.
came and took that out, so I don't like that. But
Yeah.
we have. Here we go. I found it. I found it, kids. The flip zone. And if it comes back that, let's see, do we come back and retest it yet? And close, so that's not even a good one. So somewhere, I don't know if this can be considered a rally-based rally.
Yep.
Not really. Let's see. Yeah, yeah, now we're getting to be too picky. Oh, I don't like it. I can't find a clean break in there anywhere. Clean. Unless we call this candlestick right here a rally base rally. One of our rally base rally slash one. Let's see if that panned out right now. Let's go back and reset our chart view. Yeah, we came back and tested it. Okay, cool. The 1 hour, what I'm calling a rally based rally, is decent. We come back and retest that, which is right at the extensions.
Mhm.
There we go. And there's my forecast for today. So what I'll do is I'll put this maybe for a week. How can I get a good picture of this so we can all see it nicely? There we go. And then we got this zone. Move this over a little bit. There we go.
Mm. Oh, love this area.
I know it's really hard to scale this up. It's just there's so much data there. So I
Let's
will
see.
pull. What's that? Any other questions, comments, thoughts, anything?
Uh-huh. So just my thought, I was actually looking at gold just the same time frame that you're looking at. I was checking the 4 hour, and I was technically looking for that complex pullback, which actually did came through.
Mm-hmm. So you're talking
So
about this pullback?
yeah, so I was expecting maybe we get another pullback around to this area.
Yeah, which is pretty much like I said. If we're going to do that, I'm looking for the pull. So the turnaround right here at a 2 hour BEC, perfect
Mm-hmm.
spot right there. Couldn't get any prettier than that. And we're looking for price to come back and retest this level down here somewhere. So you're
Yeah,
talking about the 382 or the 236, correct?
yeah, correct. And technically, I was looking for gold to still I'm still biased on the buys because you're still in the uptrend. So on
Oh
the
yeah, I'm
monthly,
totally biased on the
yeah.
buys
Mm-hmm.
because check this out. I'm looking if there's one other thought, if you want to really get technical about it. If you're into fair value gaps, have a 4 hour fair value gap, and we make our extended line to the right, midpoint black, make it a little thicker, make it a solid line, boom, boom. So
Yeah.
there's a fair value gap. So we could even come retest this area here. So yeah, that fair value gap has a lot to offer us. That's on the 4 hour
Uh-huh.
right there. So
Yeah. And my target area were basically around this area.
for the high, right?
Yeah.
All right. And what have I got here? It's not a pretty one, but we can call this a supply zone. Not a pretty one, mind you. Um,
Mm-hmm.
medium supply zone. We're talking about a 4 hour drop, basically. So yeah, we got this first one, this BEC to come up and test. Then the second one would be up here. So even if we like tested this, came back and retested it. So any which way, uh, Yeah, but this impulse has to be corrected at some point before it can
Yeah.
continue going up. No. So, and we have to, in order to continue, got to go above this high up here, which is pretty much that above the 236. So we got to close above the 236 on the 1 hour, and we also have to we might see a retracement back to the and break the 236 on the 1 hour going down. So even if we
Mhm.
get that retrace the 236, and either we're gonna come back and turn around and go back down, we don't know. How are we done with cells? But like I was talking about earlier at the very beginning of our show, we
Mhm.
have 3 months, 3 months of huge bullish candlesticks, even more if you consider this drop base drop right here, rally base rally here. This thing of this big impulse from here to here, all that, we haven't even come back to retest this zone, this rally base rally. So at some point, price is going to have to come back and retest this area at the 2813 level. So yeah, I have a feeling we're going to see levels back down to 3000 at some point. Will it be in 2025 or will it be the retracement happening in 2026? Or
Mhm.
2027, 28, 29, 30? Oh no, we don't know. But at some point, it's going to get so exhausted that it's going to have to turn around. But I don't know what the exhaustion is on a monthly candlestick, let alone right now we're looking at 3 months, you know. But if we take
Yeah.
the year, if we take a year and divide it by how many 12 we've been in 10 months so far, well, we can average it out if we wanted to. See what the average price is just for giggles. So we got the low here, the high here. We're talking about 88,556. Divided that by 8 months right now. So we're talking about 110,000 or 111,000 pips per month
Mhm.
average. If you take that and divide it how many divide that by 12, you can do it that way as well. So let me break out my trusty calculator. I'm gonna just quickly calculate that. Like I said, and I don't mind doing stuff for giggles, man, because that's how we learn, right? Let's see if I can find my calculator.
Let's
Oh, there it is. So we got 88,000, basically 89,000 pips. And divide that by, so far we've only gone through 8 months, right?
Yep.
8 months equals 11,125 pips per month so far, average 11,000 pips per month. That's a lot of pips.
Yeah.
That's a
That's a good one.
lot of dough. And just imagine, and we hit all mid all-time high at 3,500, So yeah, can we go back and retest that yet? We don't know. Everything's going to hinge, but look at all this that's standing in the way. Just think about it. Here we are, 3 months. This is what's standing in the way. We got this demand zone, which is where price is at now, or supply zone. Then we got this next supply zone. Then we've got this June 16th, 2025 previous weekly open, or even monthly open. I think it's even monthly. No, the monthly open's way down here. So no, yeah.
That's
So
weekly.
it's previous weekly open. This candlestick right here is what I'm using as a high. So that's a weekly open
Mhm.
that price has to get to if we're going to continue going higher, I believe. Which will take out and close this candlestick. And if we get a new high after that candlestick, bada bing, bada boom, we'll go with this big impulse and finish the impulse, the correction, and the impulse up to 3,700, and ultimately, 3,800, 4,000 was what I'm looking for. Ultimately, if they decide to go that high.
Mm.
So we can set this out. I'm going to put this over here. I know there's a lot of information here. Let's see if I can make this a little smaller. A little skinnier so we can see it better. There we go. Is that seeable by everybody? Would this be a good one to post?
Looking good for me.
Looking good? All right. All right. If there's no other questions, everybody definitely enjoy the rest of your Sunday afternoon. It's been a pleasure to answer all your questions about how the market moves. And just the value of mind you, three candlesticks or four, depending. So we're talking about big candlesticks, big impulses. Like even here, we got three good bullish candlesticks right here. Even in the week, the 1 hour, we got this whole big impulse. Boom, boom, boom. So yeah, we've got this whole shift up. And right now, if you notice, it's grayed out um, on the indicator because it still hasn't switched and become bullish until after it hits the 204 zone. And it won't hit that zone until after it gets past this candlestick here and starts shifting up. So always remember, if you're using the box system, we know that there's going to be oh, here we go. Here we go. This would be a nice play too. Oh, look at this right there. Can't get better than that. Play this candlestick. That's 1 hour rally base rally. Or is that right? BEC rather. 1 hour BEC. And it is. There it is. So that's our 1 hour BEC. So we could even see this pullback on the 1 hour and then continue going up. So quite a few ways to look at this. And I'm looking for this would be the move of, I think, tomorrow. We can come back, retest this area, hit up here first, come back, hit that, come back, maybe retest this zone. Oh, wrong candlesticks. Control this. No. There we go. This one. So if we break above this zone, we're going to look for
Continue
this.
up. Mm.
Yes. That makes sense now?
Yep. Awesome.
There we go. Now it's going to look prettier. Always aiming to please. And if it hits this and turns around, we're going to look for this shift in the other direction. I'm going to put this over so we can see that in view. There we go. Oh, that looks good. What do you think? There we go. So like I said, we got a couple options here. So if it, and that's not even guaranteed. We got another option here too. It could come back, retest this zone, come back, hit this zone,
Mhm.
and come back and hit this and this. Or something like that. We can even call it like that, maybe. Well, it's something like that. That's all right. They could do something like that too. So there we go. Analysis. And let's not over analyze things. All right. So you all have a great one. Thank you also for showing up. Have a blessed Sunday afternoon, and we'll talk to you next week.
Wonderful. Thank you. I'm seeing Madam Iris there. They look like